Have you ever, opened up an app just to get your daily reward? Or maybe you've tossed one more thing in your cart just to get that free shipping. Yep, we've all been there. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on this billion-dollar loyalty game. We'll show you how those little points and spin-to-win games are actually really sophisticated strategies designed to, hack your brain. And believe me, it all kicks off with some numbers that are just staggering.
So, first up, 306%. That's how much more a customer is worth to a brand when they feel an emotional connection, not just, simple satisfaction. We're not talking about just liking a product, we're talking about feeling truly invested. And as you're about to see, that feeling, it's worth a fortune.
Next number, 560%. That is the insane return on investment that an outdoor retailer called Moose Jaw got from their gamified loyalty program. I mean, think about that. They didn't just sell coats, they built a game around their brand, and wow, did it pay off.
And look, this isn't just one or two companies getting lucky. On average, these strategies boost customer retention by 22%. In a world where it's super expensive to go out and find new customers, keeping the ones you already have, well, that's the whole ballgame.
So, this all leads to the big question, right? How in the world can a simple point system or a little spin-the-wheel game create this much value? It honestly seems too good to be true. But the secret isn't buried in some complicated business spreadsheet.
Nope. The answer is all about human psychology. See, these platforms aren't just sales tools. They are meticulously designed systems, built from the ground up to tap right into our brain's reward circuits. They are literally hacking your brain for profit.
And the whole thing starts with one very powerful chemical, dopamine. Now, you've probably heard it called the feel-good chemical, but that's not quite right. It's really the chemical of anticipation. It's what drives us to seek out rewards, and these e-commerce apps are absolute masters at getting your brain to release it. And it works in this really simple four-step loop. First, there's a trigger, a little stimulus, like a notification on your phone saying, "You've earned new points." Instantly, your brain releases dopamine because it's anticipating a reward. That dopamine hit drives a behavior. You open the app. And when you claim that little reward, the action gets reinforced, making you just a little more likely to do it all over again tomorrow. That, my friends, is how a habit is born.
But the smartest companies don't just stop there. They combine two different kinds of motivation. So you've got your extrinsic motivation. That's the obvious stuff, right? The points, the discounts, the freebies. But the real genius is when they also tap into your intrinsic motivation, that internal drive for things like mastery, status, or feeling like part of a community. It's the difference between doing a chore for an allowance versus playing a video game just because you love getting better at it.
This also plays on another powerful mental shortcut we all have, the endowment effect. Basically, as soon as you earn some points or cash back, your brain doesn't see it as a coupon anymore. It sees it as something you own. And we are all hardwired to value things we own more highly. That Kohl's Cash sitting in your app feels more valuable than just a $10 off coupon, which makes you way more likely to go back to the store to spend it.
Okay, so now we get the psychology behind it all. Let's dig into the actual playbook, the specific tools and tactics these companies are using to put all that brain science into action.
So if you ask people what they actually want from a loyalty program, the answer is pretty clear. 61% say cashback. It just feels like real money. It's tangible, you can use it how you want, and that's why it is the cornerstone of so many of these programs. It's just a direct, powerful motivator.
But it's not just about one thing. The best platforms have a whole toolbox of these little game mechanics, and each one is picked to do a very specific job. You know that spin-to-win wheel? That's perfect for getting an email address from a brand new visitor. That little progress bar telling you you're just $10 away from free shipping, that is designed for one thing, to get you to spend more. Every single mechanic has a purpose.
And even when we talk about cashback, there are different flavors. You've got your simple flat rate, like 1% on everything. Then there's the tiered model that gives more back to the VIPs. You've got points that you can turn into cash. And of course, that store credit model we talked about. Each one is a slightly different way of locking you into their world, into their ecosystem.
All right, so we've covered the psychology and the playbook. Now let's talk numbers. Let's look at the actual math and see how these simple little games add up to some seriously big financial results.
Let's go back to Moose Jaw for a second, because this quote is it's wild. 76% of their total sales revenue came from these gamified activities. This wasn't some little side project. This became the absolute core engine of their entire business. And that 76% of sales driven entirely by these games, that's what leads you directly back to this number, a 560% return on their investment. It's just this incredibly clear straight line from a fun little game to a massive impact on the bottom line.
At the end of the day, all of these strategies, every single one of them is designed to increase one single metric, customer lifetime value, or CLV. It's not about how much you spend today. It's about the total profit a company can expect to make from you over the entire time you're their customer.
And the impact here is just huge. Just look at this tale of two customers. A regular customer might be worth about $80, but by using these engagement tools, getting them to buy just a little more often, and to stick around longer, the value of that exact same customer jumps to over $124. That is a 55% increase in value.
And if we break that down, you can see where the real power is. Yeah, getting people to spend more in one go is good. But the biggest impact by far comes from reducing churn. That's stopping them from leaving, and increasing their purchase frequency, getting them to come back more often. It is all about building that habit.
So what's the big takeaway here? Modern loyalty, it's not about that one big flashy 50% off sale. It's a game of inches. It's about creating dozens of these small, repeatable, psychologically driven interactions that build on each other and compound into incredible value over time.
Which kind of leaves us with one last question to think about. The next time you open up an app to claim your daily bonus or you spin that wheel to get a discount, just ask yourself, are you playing a game or are you being played?